we turn then to F1 and indeed Formula E, because there are big races in both at the weekend. And joining us to do just that is the Formula E driver, Jake Hughes. Hi, Jake.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Not too bad, thanks. Oh, blimey, look at that. What a backdrop. We can
Not too bad, is it?
We can see the track there in Monaco, the street track. Yeah, it's the same course as the F1 race. Is that right? You're going to be driving?
Yeah, exactly. It's the one track in the calendar that both us and Formula One share. So everyone loves to do their comparisons during the weekend. But it's the home of, or the mecca of world motorsport. So to get to drive this place is pretty special.
Yeah. So not a lot of overtaking then.
No.
Well, actually, I get why you would have that opinion if you watch Formula One around here. But actually, I think this track last year we had something like 300 or 400 overtakes.
Oh, blimey.
Wow.
Why would that be compared to Formula One?
Yeah, because we purposely start the race with less energy than we need to finish it. So if anyone's got an electric car at home and you're trying to elongate your range, so to speak, and you might do a bit of lift and coast into a roundabout and this kind of things, we have to do this obviously in a very performance-driven manner. But that kind of means that we're not going flat out from like full throttle to a braking point. So we have maybe 100 meters of coasting before we brake, and kind of the benefit to that is you get a lot of overtaking.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Yeah. You haven't necessarily got the happiest memories of Monaco personally, have you? You had a bit of a nasty shunt that I think went viral. I remember seeing it sort of at the time when you were there, where you were in Formula 2, is that right?
Yeah, that was my first visit to this track. We were struggling all weekend, and it was last lap of qualifying, and I just thought, you know what, I'll give it a crack. And up until the point I crashed, I was pretty close to getting pole. It would have been nip and tuck, and unfortunately, I clipped a wall, and I think I had something like a 70G impact. Destroyed the car, as you can imagine. So the team weren't best pleased with me. But yeah, that's the fine margins of professional motorsport, I guess.
Yeah, you lost one. I mean, what 70 Gs? I mean, if you can explain, what does that feel like?
It feels like for a split second everything switches off. Yeah, it's not the best feeling in the world, as you can imagine, but it's so short-lived. I mean, when I say 70 Gs, it's not sustained, right? So
no, sure.
It's only the glance or the small measurement that triggers that. For me, I don't know if I had to guess, probably like 20 G sustained for half a second or something like that. But yeah, it's still a lot of force. Thankfully, I came out of it uninjured, just with a little bruise. But yeah, it went a bit viral over YouTube. I think it's got a few million views if anyone wants to go and bask in my mistake.
We just showed it to the viewers there, or people who are watching on YouTube and on Connect TV. It was quite the bang, but it is, as Jake said, it is available to watch. Lando Norris's glitter ball helmet is all the talk, apparently, of Miami. When I saw the picture, I don't know if you've seen it, Jake. I thought it can't be little bits of glass. That wouldn't be a great idea in a Formula One car.
Wear that if he does Strictly.
Yeah, he could do.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to probably need to do Strictly for a while. But apparently it's like sort of shiny vinyl. But it's very effective. Have you seen any pictures of it?
I have, actually. Come as a bit of a surprise to me, because I'm not quite sure how the painters managed to have the creativity to pull that one off.
Yeah.
I just feel for whoever is either looking into his mirrors ahead, or if one of the guys is ahead of him, of seeing him in the mirror coming towards them, probably be a bit of a blinding experience, I would imagine.
It's going to be a bit of a laser pen job, you're right. I mean, they must have tested. If that was the case, they wouldn't let him wear it, you wouldn't think.
No, exactly, but maybe he has done that, Maybe he's done it as a bit of a tactic to put his rival on.
Have you seen it, Andy? Have you seen the picture? It's pretty amazing. So we should maybe stick with Lando. It's interesting times, isn't it, in F1? And Miami's going to be and Verstappen's generally done quite well in Miami, although there's not been a lot of races there. He's done pretty well, hasn't he?
I mean, Max has done well everywhere he's been, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's definitely an exciting period for F1. I think everyone was kind of anticipating this year was going to be one of the best championship fights, over the last few decades. I think so far it's brewing quite nicely. I think everyone kind of expected McLaren not to run away with it, so to speak, but to have the strongest car and to probably have had the gap that they have in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. But in the Drivers' Championship, it's obviously a bit of a different story with Max doing what Max does and making it a three-way fight at the moment. I think Miami should be interesting because last year when McLaren bought an upgrade, they took a big step forward. And Lando, I think that was his first F1 race win last year. So could be a McLaren track, but I think the difference between last year and this year is the introduction of Oscar.
Yeah.
And what he's able to do now. I think he's been seriously impressive, in only his third season F1. So I kind of see this going all the way to the end of the season between the three of them, really.
What about Lewis's struggles at the moment with the Ferrari? What are you making of that?
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, I would say. I mean, some people might look at, the last, I think last year with Mercedes, even the last 2 years, compared to George, that he was a little bit off in one lap pace compared to George. So some people might, deduce that that's happening again at Ferrari. I think the interesting thing is that if you looked at the sprint race weekend they had in China when he took pole, it's not like he was lacking one lap pace on that day, but then the next day he was. So I think it's an inconsistency situation at the moment, which, when no matter how successful Lewis has been and how much of a name he is and how many people know who he is, I don't care who you are. When you go from even a team like Mercedes, as big as it and successful as it's been, to Ferrari, which basically has a whole country supporting it, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you have Charles next to him there, who's been there, for 6, 7, 8 years now in junior categories as well. He knows exactly how that car works, how it drives. And it's going to take some time. So I think, over the next 5 races, I'd like to see Lewis sort of close that gap to Charles. But yeah, obviously at the moment, I'm sure he's not so happy.
Just for a quick one on Villa, we're nearly out of time, but you were at Wembley for the semi-final. Wasn't to be, really. But and kind of, subsequently, Forest maybe did you a favour last night. And we've got that game this weekend. Villa-Fulham won't be easy, but they might have let you in a bit for Champions League, mightn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had to go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. So when I woke up and saw the Forest result, I was quite happy, to say the least. But yeah, the Wembley result was very, very disappointing. I think Palace seem to have our number, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I think something like 16 goals in the last 4 times we've played them, or they've scored against us 5 times maybe. So I think Glasner really has a handle on that system. And when he plays us, we seem to play right into their hands. But yeah, as you say, we have 4 games left now. Fulham, we're starting with Fulham on the weekend. I mean, we've got to win all 4 really.
Yeah.
No other option. And then we're obviously fighting, I would say, mostly with Chelsea and Forest for that one last place, I think.
Yeah. Nice one, Jake. Good to talk to you. Best of luck in Monaco over the weekend. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.